Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you from Bucharest, Romania, a place that you may just have heard of recently. It's been in the news a little bit, I believe, for various different reasons. Anyway, here we are. It's a fine evening walking around the old town, and I wanted to jump on and do a video about dating women with high social media followings. Okay, the reason that I'm doing this video is because I've got a Telegram group, okay, Troy Francis Telegram group, which you should absolutely join if you're not in it already, because it's bloody awesome, right? There's over 500 guys. I think we'll be about 550 guys very soon. We'll probably get to 600 in the next week or a couple of weeks. A thriving community of young chaps and not so young chaps who are looking to improve their prospects in the dating world, okay? People of all different abilities, all different ages, backgrounds, different countries, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's just an ongoing conversation between all of us about different aspects of, you know, dating and mating and attraction and all of these kinds of things, and the attendance stuff as well, fashion, fitness, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the conversation today turned to one of the guys had met a girl, he'd seen her in the street, got up, had a conversation, got her Instagram, and it turned out that this girl had a big Instagram following, and moreover, she had also been on the program Love Island. So I won't reveal what country it was, but she'd been on the program Love Island, which is in a number of different countries around Europe, certainly. Maybe America as well, I don't know, but certainly Europe. Anyway, so this girl had about 90,000 followers on Instagram, something like that. So obviously, you know, a little bit of social clout, probably significantly more than the guy that she matched with. Anyway, he'd sent her a message and she kind of responded, but he'd asked her a question. And she had responded, but not with anything very much. She just said, hey, or something like that. And he was basically asking the group, okay, so how should I continue with this? But the conversation then in the group turned to whether he should be entertaining this woman at all because she had such a big social media following. And there seemed to be some guys there, and I hope I'm not misrepresenting anybody here, but there's some of the guys were basically saying, to paraphrase, don't bother because she's got a super big social media following. It's going to be more trouble than it's worth. I think one guy said, it's just not going to be worth it for what you get out of her, I think was his phraseology. And to me, that just seemed absolutely insane, okay? And I'll tell you why. So it's conceivable that it's going to be harder to date a woman who has a big social media following and who's been on a big TV show, because almost certainly she just has more options thrown at her than she can handle. So there's that. And secondly, it's also conceivable that yes, she might be a bit of a handful. It might be, and we don't know because we don't know the individual, but it might be that, you know, she's a bit entitled, she's used to a lot of free attention from guys, and maybe she's a bit flaky and, you know, whatever. All of that is absolutely possible. But here's the thing, you're not going to know until you actually date her. You're not going to know until you guys actually hook up. And it seems a weird mixture of sort of purity fantasy plus fear of not being good enough to command the attention of a woman like that makes guys, or some of the guys, there must be other girls who are as good looking who don't have such a big social media following, so why not just go with one of them instead? It's like, well, I mean, come on, you've met her, you've had a conversation, it's gone well enough that she's, you know, given her social media details and she's actually responded to your message. I mean, you've got to at least give this a shot. But getting aside from that specific situation, if you meet a woman in any context and she is kind of well known, she's big on Instagram or TikTok or something, she's maybe famous or something like that, you've just got to treat the situation and her exactly the same as you would anybody else, okay? Which is to say, okay, you've met, presumably you've exchanged contact details, drop her a message, a little bit of riz on the messages, you know, back and forward a little bit, then you propose the date. So I know this really cool bar, why don't we meet Thursday? They do great cocktails, 8 o'clock, wear your best dress or whatever you're going to say, you know, sort of cheeky kind of thing. She comes out on the date, okay, great. You proceed with the date in the normal way. Obviously you're looking to move things forward in a general direction that's pleasurable for both of you. If that happens, then you take stock and you think, okay, so, you know, what do I want to do now? Do I want to see this girl again? If you do, you ask her out again. Of course, all the time you're calibrating, you're figuring out, oh, is she actually a cool person? Is she actually somebody that, she might be attractive, but is she actually somebody that is cool to hang out with, that I get on with, that I have something in common with? Exactly the same as you would with any other woman on the planet. Now, it might be at some point that she falls on one of those hurdles. It might be that she's super flaky, or she kind of cancels the date at the last minute because she's been invited to a, you know, TV show premiere or something like that. And, you know, if that happens, that happens. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I just think it's absolutely absurd for a guy who's looking, for guys who are looking to improve their prospects in dating, to then find reasons to disqualify women who are presumably some of the most attractive in our society. You know, it just seems crazy to me. So so don't do that. It's basically the advice of this video. And as I said to the guys, look, I mean, the big problem here, probably an even bigger problem here, is that the reason that you are disqualifying her really is because you think that you don't have what it takes to command her attention. Okay, that's the real problem. And that, my friends, is a mindset issue. Okay, that is an inner game issue. And that is something that you need to work on, because it's likely that the way that you think about yourself, i.e., I am not enough, I am not good enough for her, I am not good enough to command, as I say, her attention for long enough, that thinking about yourself is screwing you over. All right, 100% that is screwing you over. Probably more than your looks or, you know, your fashion or any other kind of thing, or your height or any other kind of thing that you think might be screwing you over. It's probably that attitude about yourself, and that reflects in the way that you come across, okay? That reflects in the way that you present yourself, not just to her, but to any other woman that you meet, okay? So you've got to get to the fucking root of the problem here, and the root of the problem is that you don't think you're good enough. You don't think you're man enough to command her attention, and that is wrong, all right? And if it is correct, then you need to work on that, okay? Because it means that there are things that you need to get right in life, in terms of maybe the way you look or the way you dress or your fitness or whatever. So take that as a lesson. And if you meet a woman with a very high social media account, just treat it exactly the same as you would anybody else. I mean, I met a girl once with 1 million followers on Instagram. I mean, so what? It doesn't really, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a conversation between you and another human being, okay? It's and ultimately, really, there's only two potential outcomes of this stuff, isn't there? It's either gonna go well and you guys are gonna get together, or it's not gonna go well and you're not, and that's it really. So just treat it the same. Now, the other thing in closing that these guys seem to be saying was sort of like, well, you know, yeah, but if you get together with her, then the social media stuff might start to become a problem because she's got people hitting her up 24/7. I'm like, bro, you don't need to get into a long-term relationship with this woman. You don't need to marry her. You know, why are you thinking about this prospect? Why are you projecting forward and thinking, oh, what would happen if, you know, we're in this kind of relationship? Like, you don't even know her yet. You don't even know if she's somebody you would want to be in a relationship with. All you know is how she looks, basically, and maybe that you had a little bit of chemistry when you first met. So just stop being so stupid and stop talking yourself out of things that could actually be really good, okay? Anyway, with all that being said, we are in Bucharest, Romania, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Get in my Telegram group, for God's sake. Link is below. If you want to talk to me about your dating situation, whatever that might be, then you can book a free call with me. The link is below. Grab my books, Renegade Dating Blueprint. Again, the link is below. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.